Hey guys, today I'm going to show you guys how to coat brand new wheels like this. These Strasse wheels are brand new, custom made just for this GTR back here. So these just came from the factory, we just unwrapped them, and today we're going to protect them using carbon flex. So we're going to be using our C9. As you can see, this is an old C9. I used this about, twice, and we have our old, suede applicators, and we always recommend replacing these after, after the first initial use. Reason being, carbon flex is a coating system, and it will adhere to these suede applicator pads. So as you can see, it's kind of stiff right here. So these you just want to, chuck them. So we do sell refill packs. This is what I have right here. Comes with the brand new, foam pad, and it comes with, 5 suede applicators. So you can coat wheels like this in a jiffy. All right. So now you set that up. Let's get to the wheels. Now these wheels here, we want to protect them. We don't want to, start carbon flexing the front, the face. Reason being, we have this microfiber towel down here, so we don't scratch the wheel. So when we flip the wheel down like so, we don't want to be, having carbon flex stick onto the microfiber applicator. So first thing we want to take care of is the inside of the barrel. So these wheels have already been prepared. We went ahead and we gave them a nice wipe down before we start this process, just to ensure there's no kind of dust or any kind of contaminants within it. So first thing we got to do is just start unwrapping it. And once we finish unwrapping it, we can go ahead and start. So to start off, I'm going to grab our carbon flex. And like I mentioned earlier, I coated about 2 cars with it, and I'm still probably like halfway through it. So this does last us a long time, and I'm kind of curious to see how much product I'm going to actually be using on these wheels. So I highly doubt I'm going to be using much. But these are pretty deep wheels, and we'll see how far it goes. When we start rubbing, you just want to rub on the inside. You'll feel the surface get very slick. Okay, perfect. So now that the inside of the wheel's done, the surface is nice and slick. You can see it looks a lot shinier. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it is a lot shinier, and I can smell the carbon flex. So you want to make sure you do this in a well-ventilated area. So I'm going to let that dry off for 15 minutes, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to buff off any kind of the excess carbon flex off the surface. So we'll be back in 15 minutes. So now that carbon flex has dried off on the inside of the barrel, I'm going to grab a microfiber towel. I'm going to start buffing off the excess. So it's important when you're buffing off to know that you're going to be using a brand new microfiber towel. In this case, I'm using the Workhorse. And after I'm finished using the towel for buffing off the carbon flex, I'm no longer going to be using this towel because carbon flex will harden up because it is a coating, and it will ruin the towel. So it's going to make the carbon, the fibers of the microfiber towel unusable anymore. So just remember and keep that in mind. All right, perfect. So now that the inside of the barrel is done, it's time for us to do the face of the wheel. Perfect. All right, perfect. So now that we gave it a quick wipe down, we wiped off any kind of like the pieces of the little cardboard that have stuck onto the wheel. So we just gave it a nice little wipe down right now. And again, we're going to be applying our carbon flex to our applicator. And I'll be using the same applicator for all wheels, all 4 wheels. Now, just simply apply it onto the face. Now, applying it to this wheel is a little bit tricky because there's a lot of grooves. So the first thing I want to do is make sure I get the part that sticks out the most, which are these like flat parts, these spokes. And then once I finish doing that, I'll start attacking the inside of the spokes. So a lot of people usually miss this part, and it's very important to make sure you protect this part because this is a part where a lot of like the wind is being generated, a lot of the resistance. So you're going to have a lot of brake dust kind of caking up here on the side of the spokes. So you want to make sure to protect that. Make sure not to miss it. Like I said, you know you're applying it on as well because you'll feel the surface get very, very slick as soon as you go back and forth with it. All right, perfect. So I just got almost every surface of this wheel covered already. Feels nice and slick. You can see it, immediate shine. So now the next step is for me to take care of the inside where these lug nuts go. So in order for me to get in there, I obviously can't fit this in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab this, applicator and I'm gonna wrap it on my finger. Of course, I'm gonna put on gloves, take extra precaution not to contaminate and also not to get carbon flex on my hands. So now that I have my gloves on, I'll take my applicator, I'm gonna apply a bit more of carbon flex. Still using the applicator pad. Just use it to hold it like a placeholder. So I'm gonna get it, wrap it around my thumb, and rub the inside of it. Just to make sure I get any kind of surfaces that are difficult to get with this applicator. And you don't need to rub that hard or too long because you'll instantly feel the carbon flex start adhering to the surface. Like I said, it just gets very, very slick right afterwards. And like I said, feel free to get any kind of surfaces that are difficult to usually get with the foam applicator pad. Perfect. All right, now when you're finished, again, you're gonna let it 15 minutes for it to dry, properly adhere. While this one's dry enough, I'll probably start doing another wheel. So let's give this wheel 15 minutes, and as you can see, it's already getting a nice high shine. So 15 minutes, and I'm gonna come back and wipe off the excess. All right, perfect. And this is the end result. Nice high shine, it's durable. And also don't forget that you can put other coatings on top of this. So if you want, you can add an additional coat of Carbon Flex C9. You could add, Jet Seal. You could also add, Max Coat Wheel Guard. The only thing I recommend is allowing 24 hours for this coating to permanently dry. That way it stays in and it bonds and adheres to the surface fully before you put on any other coat. So whether you have some brand new Strasse wheels or any other high-end manufactured wheels, the one thing you want to do is protect them right out of the box. So using Carbon Flex C9, that ensures a nice durable bond that's going to protect, shine, and make your vehicle look better. The